Hello and good evening, everyone. I think today we have one new student that, Mr. Mubin, that he didn't attend the last class. Also, I think maybe if we review the slides of last session during this time, more students can join us. So if you agree, I can review on last presentation last Monday, all right? And then we will continue for today's presentation. Let me know if you agree or not. All right. Every session, okay, at the end of the session, I email to all of the students the slides of presentation. Also, I email to students some additional useful information for doing the research, okay? So I will email all the material to the student. Yes, every session I email to a student. And then if I think that some other material document, something that will be useful for students in terms of doing their research, I will send as well. All right, so I think because the last session also we have some problem with sound. I think we didn't have a good class. We have some problems. The student cannot hear me very well. So I reviewed the session, the important information that I presented in last Monday first, and then I will continue the new slides for today. Mr. Nurzai and Mr. Mobin, can you hear me very well? Okay, what about Mr. Nurzai? Can you hear me? All right, research methodology class is the class that gives you some information about how you can start to write the research, okay? As the students who attend this class are in the last sem, so they should submit something like thesis or dissertation as a final project or graduate project for getting the certificate of MBA. So this class will help a student to do their research, to do their thesis, okay? And about the first 8 sessions, I will give you presentation. I will give you the information about how to write the thesis step by step, and then for the last 4 class that we have together, I will listen to your research proposal, and the student can present their research proposal or final research and get ideas and comments from my side and other classmates. So the class means that our class divides to two parts. The first part that including 8 sessions that I will present slides to you, and then the second part that is your presentation, meaning that students volunteer to present their research by a slide in PowerPoint. For the last session, I gave the students the overview of research methodology. So the outline that we had in last session is about the meaning of research, that what does a research mean, and dimension of research, scientific research, introduction to research process, and business and management research. Objective of this course will help you undertake research by being clear about what you are doing. Alright, just now Mr. Nurzai joined us. Okay, Mr. Nurzai, I think because last session we had some problem about voice, so today I will review the slides of last session, and then I will continue with new slides of today, if you agree.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, because I think last class most of the students told me that they cannot hear me very well. All right, so I just quickly review the slides of last class, and then we continue with the new slides. I hope that during this presentation, more students join us as well. So again, from the first. I can say that the research methodology class is a class for students who are in the lesson, and this class will help a student to do their research, because the student in that semester need to submit their research or thesis as a final project to get the MBA certificate. So this class help a student to do their research, and my plan like this, that I divide the class in 2 parts, and the first part including the first 8 sessions that I will present to you. Today is the second session, so by end of the 8th session, the material and information and all the slides that I want to give you for research methodology will be finished. And after that, the other 4 sessions, it's the student session, meaning that each of the students want to present their research proposal or final research. They are most welcome, and they can get my comments and also the rest of the classmates comments as well, and then they can improve their research, and then they can submit the final research better, as they can improve by getting the comments and suggestions. So we have totally 12 classes, and last time I have another 2 additional class, because the students, most of the students want to present their research, so in 4 classes we cannot finish, so I just had another 2 additional class. About this term, I think we can finish it in 12 sessions, because this term only, I think 7 or 8 students, but last intake I have 38 students, so 30 is so many students. So I hope that we can finish this term by 12 classes and you have more time to do your research. And about the deadline of final project, it is something around February, I think, because you have 4 months from beginning. So this sem began in October, meaning finishing February. So I think by March or some date near to this month, you should submit your final project. And I don't ask you any assignment. You have only one assignment, that's meaning the final project, and you should submit individually. Because WWF policy is that the final project should be done individually, all right? So I don't ask you any group project, because doing the research, doing the thesis is a big job, and 4 or 5 months, maybe it's very limited time for doing this. So I just ask you to submit your thesis. And another thing that I want to tell you is about the topic. If your topic, because you can choose the topic yourself, it means you should choose the topic yourself in every area of management, all right? And I can help you. If you don't have any idea, then I can help you, and together we can finalize the topic for you. And then because management area is very wide, so if your topic is something about strategic management or marketing, and maybe human resource, I will be your supervisor, meaning that your final project will be corrected by me. But if you want to do your final project in area of finance, it's better that you refer your thesis to the lecturer of finance, okay? About marketing also, if you can refer to your marketing lecturer. It depends on you. About marketing, it depends on you. But about finance, I will not be your supervisor. So, for example, in lesson, most of the students, the topic, I can cover them, but 2 of the students want to do about finance. So they attend all of the classes, all of the research methodology class that I will give them I gave them the information about how they do their research, and then but they should edit their research and check their research by another supervisor. So this is the point that you should know from the first class, that if you want to choose the topic in area of finance or accounting, it's better that you choose another supervisor. And but all of the students should attend research methodology class for the first 8 sessions, because this is the general information about doing the research. Okay, after finish this syllabus of research methodology, then you can go back to your supervisor and check your research and thesis with him or her. But I can help you to choose your topic. That's all. Alright, thank you. Now I will review the last class slides. And so up to now, if you have any question, please ask me now. If no, we can continue reviewing the slides. Okay, the outline of the last class is about meaning of research, dimension of research, scientific research, and introduction to the research process. And finally, business and management research. The objective of this class, as I told you, is help you to undertake research by being clear about what you are doing, why you are doing it, and the associated implication of what you are about to do. So you should be very clear about that. What do you want to do? What research do you want to do? And why do you want to do this research? It is very important. And then this slide about what is the research. So research is about solve a problem and publish it, or it's about identify an issue, question, or problem. So I want to pass this slide quickly because we have time for other slides. So how to the research, finding a good question or problem to address can be hard. So if you want to start the research, first you should have the very clear question that why I want to do this research, meaning that what is the problem and what is the question that encourage you to do this research, okay? And for finding this question, maybe a supervisor or your colleague or any expert and knowledgeable person that has some knowledge and experience can help you. So I told you that final project is an individual assignment, but it means that you should ask about your research, about your topic from many people, but finally you should write the research. But during you are doing your research, you should always talk to other people and get idea and get some knowledge, okay? And the other thing that I told you is about the publish, that there is a very famous sentence in academic area that we say publish or perish. Meaning that if you do the research and publish your research, it means that you are alive and you survive. But if you don't publish and talk about your research, it means that you are dying. It means that your work died, because when you didn't publish, when you don't publish, or when you don't present your research in any conference, in any newspaper, in any magazine, anywhere, meaning that no one knows about your idea, and it doesn't mean that you do the research. That means your research done, okay? And I talk about dimension of research. That is very conceptual, and it doesn't matter that you know exactly the key terms, just I put, and I want you to be familiar with this word. Goal of science, explore of career knowledge. Okay, the other important thing is about the scientific research, that it should be about the truth, and it should create knowledge. And scientific research is guided by theory and hypothesis. So when you do the scientific research, so always all of the research should be based on one theory, okay? So first you should find the theory, and then by doing the research you can improve the theory, or you propose a new theory based on the whole or a older theory or mother theory that your presentation, your research is about. And these are different types of research. and I will explain different parts of research in other classes in future. But here is a whole background about different kind of research, okay? And this is the example. Okay, the other thing that you should know about the research, always when you are doing the research, you should have some technique and you should follow up the procedure. So research not like this, not like assignment that 1 week after you read the book, you close your book and then do your assignment. It's not like this. It has a long procedure. So you should do it step by step. You should be very patient. And you should follow up the procedure. Everything cannot be a research. Research has a specific criteria in this line, alright? So you should have a methodology for doing your research. And again, I focus on that scientific research data are about scientific research. You should know that data are collected systematically, data are interpreted systematically, and there is a clear purpose to find things out. Okay, when you are doing the research, each sentence and each word that you put in your research, you should think about it and you should support it. If I say, why do you put this sentence? Why do you put this idea? For example, so you should tell me that okay, this idea is come from this article, this journal, this theory, and this is the references. Okay, so always you should support and you should refer it to the main idea or main theory that this sentence comes from. So the purpose of your research should be very clear as well. Okay, in this slide you can see the stages of research process. So when you want to do your research, first you should formulating and clarifying a topic. So from today up to, for example, 2 or 3 next class, okay, the other 2 or 3 next class. So you can think about your topic and finalize your topic with me. If you want to do the research step by step, meaning that 2 or 3 weeks you have time to think about topic and then you send your topic to me and I will comment on your topic and then together we revise your topic and finally you come up to the final topic, okay? After that, after you finalize your topic, you should start to read journals, articles, books, and every useful information from anywhere that you think you can get the idea and you can get the knowledge and information, alright? So, and after that, after you write them, then you should review them. So, for example, you read the journal, one journal, and after that you should say, okay, in this journal I read about this, but this information not completed, and I want to continue the information of this journal as my research, okay? So just reading the journal doesn't have effective point. The effective point will be clear when you criticize, when you reviewing the literature, alright? And then you should design the research, meaning that you should know research question. You should know about the research problem statement of your research. You should know about objective of your research and methodology of your research. So by this you can design the research, and then you go to the collecting the data, analyze the data, and finally you can write up, meaning that you can write about the conclusion and give some suggestion, recommendation, and maybe you can give some recommendation as a future studies for other researchers. Alright, so it has a procedure. So in every session that we have, I will talk about one of these parts of the research. For example, today I will talk about the research problem, research question, and research objective. And then step by step, you can learn about each part of the research that you should do, okay? Also, another important factor that you should consider when you are doing the research is about that the impact of your personal feeling and beliefs and access to data is very important, because sometimes a student choose very good topic, very interesting topic, but when they do the literature review, and after that they want to collect the data, they understand that they cannot access to the data. So it means that this topic failed, this research failed, because when we cannot collect data, meaning that we cannot do anything, alright? So it is very important that you choose the topic that you can access to the information and data about the topic. And of course, time and other resources are also important. You have a limited time, so you should choose the topic that you can do it within, for example, 5 months. You shouldn't choose very huge or very difficult topic that you cannot manage it during 5 months. It doesn't have any point, because when the deadline comes, you should finish it. It doesn't matter that what topic do you have. The point is you finish your research, okay, at the exact time. And the other point is validity and reliability of the data and ethical issues. About ethical issues, I can say that when you do the research, always you should refer the ideas and sentences that you use from other places at the back of your research in references, because if you don't refer, it means plagiarism, and plagiarism in academic area is very sensitive. It's very easy. It's very easy that people can say, "Oh, do plagiarism," because always we read and we put some sentences maybe or some ideas about other books, about from other books or from other journal and article, but we forgot to put the name of that book or journal or article at the back of the research. So it is very crucial, and you should, for citation and referencing, you should be very careful. And the other important things that I can say, that there's no one best way for undertaking all research, meaning that each of the students can find new way to do the research, but all the research should be follow up the procedure, but the way may be different, okay? And this is the book that I can give you for your personal and for your reading. If you want to have a book about research method, this is a good reference. I put all of the details of the books in this slide. And as I ask a student in last class, please email me your name, nationality, education, and occupation to my email that I mentioned here. I think I received Mr. Nusa and Mr. Miruez, if I'm not mistaken, their email. So for new students, also please do the same. Hello and good evening, Mr. Miruez. We just reviewed the slides of last class, and now I want to start the new slides, meaning that today's slides. Okay, from this slide that I presented, meaning that last class slide, if you have any question, you can ask me, and then we can continue our class with new slides of today. Thank you. Okay, if you don't have any question about first session slides, we can continue the class in new slides. Do you have any questions? All right. Okay, as you remember, I told you that you should start your research first by finding topic, okay, and finalize the topic. So today I give you some slides that clarify and formulate a good research topic and attributes of good research topic. And then generating research ideas, writing research questions, and turning ideas into research project, research problem, and writing research proposal. So I ask you to write these notes that your research, I think, in my suggestion, okay, I suggest you that you can write your research in 5 chapters, alright? Parallelly, I write in the chat box, 5 chapters. Because, oh, sorry. Okay, so your research should be 5 chapters, alright? Because this research that you want to do, it's something near to master graduate project, okay? So I don't expect to you that you do lots of chapters, very complicated research, because you are not a PhD student, and this certificate, it's a specific project is for certificate of MBA. So we focus on practical things more than theoretical things. So I suggest you that you can arrange your research in 5 chapters, okay? So for first chapter, you should put introduction or background of your research. Then you should put the research question, research objective, and research problem statement. Okay? So now, last class and this class, I want to talk about the parts of the first chapter of your thesis, including how you write research question, how you write research question, I put abbreviation RQ, alright, research objective, meaning RO, and RPS, I mean research problem statement, okay, problem statement of the research. So these 3 parts are very important points of chapter 1, okay, chapter 1 of your thesis. And then chapter 2, you should do literature review, meaning that you should read journals and articles and then review it and find your base theory, that all the research should be based on the main theory, okay? And then in chapter 3, you have methodology. Okay, meaning that you should talk about the methodology that you want to choose for doing your research. And about all of this part, I will explain to you later. Just now, I want to give you a whole picture, so you can have a picture in your mind that we start from where and we will finish it where, okay? So we want to do the research. The research has 5 chapters. First chapter including research problem, research question, research objective. Second chapter, literature review. And third chapter is methodology. And chapter 4 is about data analysis and data collection. First, I should write data collection, then data analysis, meaning that in chapter 4, you talk about your data collection, that how do you collect your data and what is your data, and analyze your data. And finally, in chapter 5, that is the last chapter, you come up to conclusion. And of course, recommendation and suggestion as well. So always you should have these pictures in your mind when you are doing your research. So for the first step, you should choose your topic. Then after finalize your topic, you can start chapter 1, meaning that RO, RQ, and RPS. And then go to the literature review, chapter 2, and then chapter 3, methodology, and chapter 4, data collection and data analysis, and chapter 5, conclusion. Alright? And then you can do it step by step, and whenever you finish a chapter, you can send to me, we can review it together, and finally, step by step, you improve your research, and you submit it at the deadline, okay? This procedure is very useful, that you do it step by step, and I think as this way you can finish it and you can learn a lot, and also you can submit the good thing, okay? But it depends on you. Maybe you don't want to do a step-by-step, and finally, after 4 or 5 months, you send me the whole research. It doesn't matter for me. The final research is important. It depends on you. You want to step-by-step or you want to submit it totally at once, okay? All right. Okay, I have one question here about the what about background? Okay, in chapter 1 we have background. It means that chapter 1 is introduction of your study. So in chapter 1, first you can give the background. You can put the background of your research. Okay, you give abstract, and you can give a introduction of your study, all right? And then after background, you should talk about RORQ and, for example, RPS, all right? And the other thing that also you can put, for example, one part like definition of key terms in chapter 1. So if your research is about something that is new, if you use the terms that you should give information about these terms to the reader of your research, so you should do it in chapter 1. All background or introduction or abstract or overview of your research should be put in chapter 1. And chapter 2, just do the literature review and the other that I told you. Let's tell me the time here me now. All right. So now we are in step 1, meaning that we should know that how we can find the topic and how we can formulate the topic of our research. And if, for example, we have an idea, how can we change this idea to the topic? Okay, because topic is the is just it can be only, for example, 10 words. It shouldn't be too large and too long, okay, and it cannot be too short, meaning that by the topic I cannot get the idea, okay, this student wants to talk about what. So you should put the words that make sense completely, okay, completely. And also, as I told you, it shouldn't be too long. So, okay, wait, abbreviation is another QS. What do you mean? QS, we don't have QS, we have PS, meaning the problem statement. Is it clear, or you have another question? Okay, I know you asked about the difference between method and methodology because in next class, not next class, another next two class, okay, we talk about the part 3, chapter 3 about methodology and method, and I will explain to you this in that class. Okay, it's better because now I want to talk about chapter 1, and step by step I will give information. Okay, so if you let me, it's better you let me then I explain about method and methodology in their place. Alright, so we talk about method and methodology in the methodology class. Okay, meaning when we want to talk about chapter 3. Thank you. So for today, as I told you, I want to talk about the formulating and clarifying the research topic, alright? And the attribute of good research topic and generating research ideas and writing research questions and turning ideas into research projects, research problem, and writing research proposal. Okay, one thing I want to tell you about research proposal. You will have research, final research, okay? But a research proposal is abstract of your research. And the information that you should put in the research proposal most of the time in chapter 1. It means that in research proposal, you should talk about the background of your study, significance of your study, research question, research objective, and research and problem statement. Okay, and that's it. You don't talk about data analysis or conclusion or something like this. Just talk about that. Why do you want to do this research? What is your question? What's the problem? And maybe you can also talk about which methodology you choose for your research. That's all. And research proposal usually is about 5 pages to 10 pages, not more than this. And because we focus on practical research, so for managing the area, maybe you face maybe at your work that, for example, someone asks you to give him or to prepare the research proposal. So when someone asks you to give him research proposal, it means that you should mention the main parts of chapter 1 in your research proposal. You should talk about questions, objective, problem statement, and give the background of your study and significance of your study. Okay, so about objective of today's class, we help you undertake research by being clear about research topic, research question, and research problem, and finally come up with these parts to write research proposal. Okay, formulating and clarifying your research topic. The important step for clarifying topic of your research, the first one, identify the attributes of good research topic, generating ideas, Hello, can you hear me now? Alright. I don't know what's the problem. Okay, the important, now can you hear me? This slide or from the previous slide? I repeat which slide, Mr. Nurda, this slide or from the previous? Okay. Okay, can you hear me now? Alright. So today we want to talk about research topic, research question, and research problem. And so when we know about problem of the research and research question, so we can come up to write research proposal. as I told you, the research proposal, including these three parts, okay? Research question, research objective, and problem statement. Alright, so important steps to clarify your research topic. The first one is identifying the attributes of a good research topic, generating ideas that help you select a suitable topic, okay, and turning ideas into clear research question and objective, and writing your research proposal. Okay, here I told you identifying the attributes of a good research topic. So what's the attributes of good research topic? Meaning that what is the good topic? The first thing is capability. Is it feasible? Meaning that are you fascinated by the topic? Do you have the necessary research skills? Can you complete the project in time available? Will the research still be current when you finish? Do you have sufficient financial and other sources? Will you be able to gain access to data? So I talked about all of this point before. So when you want to choose the topic, it is very important that it's feasible. Meaning that first you interested to do this topic, and the other one you have a skills of to do this topic. When you're doing, when your area is management, you cannot do some research in, for example, pharmacy or another field that is not related to your skills, all right? And another important thing is time available, means time deadline. How much do you have time to finish the research? And if you finish the research, is it again new? Or for example, you want to research about the topic that after 5 months that you finish it, everyone knows about that research. So it means that this research is not valid. It doesn't have any worth. So you should choose the topic that after finishing the research, it still have some new ideas, some new suggestions, some new conclusion, all right? And about resources, it's very clear that you should have enough financial and other sources. And another thing that I told to you before is about access to data. You should choose a topic that you can find data and information about it. Okay, attributes of a good research, appropriateness. All right, is it worthwhile? It is very important for doing the research that you always think about the worthwhile. All right, will the examining institute standards be met? So what does it mean? What does it mean when we say is it worthwhile? Meaning that you do this research for always people do their research for some situation or organization or place, all right? So if you examining the standards of a situation, you can meet them, it means that it's worthwhile. The second point is, does the topic contain issues with clear links to the theory? So in your research you have a main theory, and all of the issues that you want to talk about them in your research should be connected, should be linked to the theory. You cannot do the research with one theory, different issues, different objectives. All of them should be connected to each other, okay? And are the research question and objectives clearly stated? Will the proposed research provide fresh insight into the topic, okay? And are the findings likely to be vertical? And does the research topic match your career goal? This is another important thing, because we are practical person and all of us work, so when we do the research, we don't want to put the research in our library or in a library of our office or something like this. We want to do something that is useful for our career goals, alright? So this is very important. Sometimes we find very interesting topic, we can access to the data, we can do it very well, we can give it very well, a very good conclusion and recommendation, but it isn't practical, it isn't, it isn't related to our career goals, so it doesn't have any point, alright? So this is another thing. And the other thing is about that, does the topic relate clearly to an idea you were given, okay, possible by your organization? This is again focus on that if you do the research, it should be possible but by your organization or institute that you do the research for it. And the first point that talk about topic related clearly to an idea you were given, meaning that sometimes you have one idea and then change it to the topic, but when you do the topic after few chapters, you think that, okay, this topic is far from my first idea, so this is not good. You should choose a topic that relates clearly to your idea of doing this research. Okay, so how you can generate research idea? Okay, how you can create research idea? Now maybe you say, okay, I don't have any idea about my topic. Okay, from the first step, these are the techniques that you can create and generate the research ideas. For example, rational thinking, searching the literature. This is very useful. All of us access the internet, so it's very easy searching the literature. And brainstorming, or maybe sometimes suddenly something new come up to our mind. And exploring past projects. All of the researchers should do this. And they should first see the last and past project that have done in terms of their research area. Creative thinking, scanning the media, relevant trees, discussion, keeping an ideas notebook. Now, after we talk about the attributes of a good research topic and finalize your research topic, the next step is writing research questions. So now you have a topic, you want to start chapter 1. So first, after you give some background and introduction about your research, now you should write about research question. Okay, write research question are consistent with expected standards, able to produce clear conclusion at the right level. Not too descriptive, use the Goldilocks test. Masami West, can I get your question problem solving that you need? Masami West, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay, dear student, can you hear me now? Okay. Now we have a topic of our research and want to write a research question. Okay. The research question consists with expected standard, able to produce clear conclusions. When you write the research question, it should produce clear conclusion as well. At the right level, not too difficult, should it be, and not too descriptive, and use the Goldilocks test. Okay, this is the example that you can turning ideas into research projects. Okay, so you can review this slide as an example. Again, I want to talk about turning ideas into research projects. Useful techniques. One is start with the general focus question. Use the Russian doll principle to research the essence of the question. And discuss areas of interest with your tutor. Okay, Masamiris asked me, why not too difficult? Here I told you that the research question should be too difficult because when you write the research, this research should be understood by reader. Okay. Then one reader wants to choose your research to read or not, to choose your article to read or not. First of all, he or she go to see your research question, research problem, and research objective. So your research question should be very clear. Okay, it shouldn't be complicated. It shouldn't be so difficult. Because if your research question isn't clear, meaning that you also cannot do your research well. Because the research question is very important thing. When I say not difficult, meaning it shouldn't be complicated. It should be very clear and very straightforward, and you know about what exactly your research question is about. Alright, okay, good. If you want to turn ideas into research projects, so start with a general focus question. Use the Russian doll principle to reach the essence of the question and discuss areas of interest with your tutor or supervisor, colleague, every knowledgeable person. Okay. Do you know what is Russian doll? Any of you knows about Russian doll? What is Russian doll principle? Alright. I don't know. Have you ever seen Russian doll or no? These are the doll that there is the big doll, and then inside the big doll again another small doll, and then inside the small doll there is another smaller doll, and inside the smaller doll again another smallest doll. Alright, so what does it mean in the research Russian doll? Russian doll is a method that first you can choose the main question, general question, and step by step come to narrow it. Okay, narrow down the general question, like the Russian doll, that the first one is very big. When you take it out, you see, oh, inside of this big doll there is another small doll. And when you pick up the small one, you see, oh, there is another smallest doll inside the small doll. So it means that in the research also you can do like this. First you generate the general question, then become to the more narrow question, and then step by step you come up to the exact and clear question that is not the general one. It's a clear one and it's a specific. Can you, is it clear now? Okay. So in research also we use this method, okay? Okay, now about research objective. Check your examining body's preferences for stated objective. Use a general focus question to achieve precise objective. Okay, for research objective, you can follow the SMART, alright, meaning that S is it means that specific, the abbreviation is S, okay, measurable, achievable, A, realistic, R, and timely, T. So when you think about SMART, mean that you think about a specific objective, measurable objective, achievable objective, realistic objective, and timely. Can you hear me now? Okay. So after research question, okay, I want to talk about research objective. So when you want to do your research objective, you should think about a SMART. What is a SMART? A SMART, S meaning specific, M meaning measurable, A meaning achievable, R meaning realistic, and T meaning timely. Meaning that totally meaning that your objective should be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Okay, now we want to talk about research problem or problem statement of your research. It is a problem that someone would like to investigate. Okay, it is considered a situation that needs to be changed or addressed. This problem consists of areas of concern, conditions to be improved, difficulties to be eliminated, questions seeking answers. So when you want to talk about research problem, meaning that there is a problem that you want to investigate it, or there is a situation that needs to be changed, okay? Or the problem can be difficulties to be eliminated, or for example condition that you want to improve it by doing your research, or it's a question that you seek answers during the research. So for components of a problem statement is the backbone of a research proposal. So problem statement is very important. The problem statement provides the context for the research study and typically generates questions which the research hopes to answer. So it means that if you don't have a clear problem statement, then you cannot generate your research question as well. Okay? And the problem statement consists of three parts: the ideal, the reality, and the consequences. And the problem statement followed by the purpose of objective and the statement of objective. This is where we justify why we would like to conduct this study and what the desired outcome that we are looking for. So in your problem statement, you should talk about that why you like to conduct this study, okay? So when you want to do the research, for example, you go and see your colleague, your boss, your head of the department that you work in and say, okay, I want to do this research. The first question that you should answer to your boss is that, why do you want to do this question? This research. So it means, what is the problem statement of your research? All right. This is the structure of problem statement and example. You can review it. It's the same. Again, here we can say the factors that to consider in selecting a research problem. The topic should be important. Writing a thesis or dissertation is an exercise to learn how to conduct research. So, dissertation and thesis when you write it, can help you to write the research. In some area they are same, and in some area they are different. Okay, more factors to consider. Consider the feasibility of the project. How much time do you have available? Do you really want to do a longitudinal study that will take 3 years to complete for master's thesis, or for example 5 years for PhD? So how difficult is it? Are data available? How much will it cost? All of them, I talked about them before. And for you, it's not 3 years or 5 years, only 5 months. Don't forget. Make sure the topic is ethical to study. It is very clear that we should choose the ethical topic. And the factors about considering selecting a research problem, you should have a personal interest in the topic. By the time you are done, you may really be tired of the topic. Okay, this is very simple, but it's very important because research, as I told you, it's not like assignment that if you don't like it, but you push yourself, everyone to help you to do it and then finish. Research is not like this. Research excuse me. Can you hear me now? Mr. Mavis, can you hear me? Alright, I hope Mr. Mavis can hear me as well. I always use this computer and this headphone, but I don't know, sometimes I don't know what's the problem from the system, from the internet, or what else. There is some problem like this. When it comes and connect, meaning that the problem is with system. Extra noise because of the system. Yeah, it's not because of me. Okay. So be patient. All right. I hope you can hear me, and again I will send this slide to you by email. All right. So if you don't get the point, all of the points at class, so you can ask me via email, and I will answer to you. So because online method, meaning that the first important item is being patient, because many times happen that I cannot hear the student cannot hear me. So just you follow up the slides, and I hope you can get the whole idea, and I ask you to review the slides at home. Because I told you, research methodology and doing research is not something that you can do it at once. You cannot do it in suddenly in 1 week or 2 weeks. You can follow up step by step, and you can get idea. And I will answer your email as quick as I can. So you review the slides, and if you have any question, you can ask me via email. All right, back to our slides. So the other thing that's very important is about the interest of you to do the research, because sometimes maybe someone suggests you to do the topic, but you don't have interest. First you accept and then start your research, but at the middle of the research you see that you cannot go on, you cannot continue your research because you don't have any interest. So I ask a student to find or to choose the topic that they are really have interest about it. Okay, this is very important, because it's not about doing 1 chapter or 2 chapter and then finish. It's 5 chapter. So if you don't have any interest in doing this topic, so you cannot go and collect the data, you cannot analyze the data, because you cannot read lots of journal related to your topic. If you don't like your topic, so you cannot, you don't have any desire to read lots of articles and journals about the topic. So this is very crucial that you choose the topic that you like it, because the first and the main important thing for doing the research, meaning that be patient. So if you don't have any interest in about your topic, so you cannot be patient and you just want to finish it quickly, and at this way you cannot finish and you cannot do the research. So you choose the topic that you have really interested about, okay? And the other thing is the newness of the topic may hold you interest longer. However, there's some value in repeating previous research. So when you choose a new topic that is very interesting topic, it encourages you that you do the research, because it's new and no one heard about it. So that one, that thing will encourage you to do the research. So newness, the topic is very important. Also, always you should know about the previous research, always you should read about the previous research, and always you should use the previous research, okay? Alright, now finally, if I want to give you a premise about the chapter 1, okay, including the phenomenon of interest, problem statement, RQ, and RO, it means that the phenomenon of interest is very wide. Then you come to problem statement, and then from problem statement you come to RQ, meaning that research question, and then you come to RO, meaning research objective. So phenomenon of interest, it means the area that you want to do the to do your research, and then you come to the topic, and after choose topic you come to problem statement, and then RQ and RO. So it means that step by step you will be narrow down your idea. All right. And then another thing that I want to tell you is about RQ and RO, meaning meaning research objective and research question. This is very important. You can write it in a big letter, all right, and put the paper on the wall. And always you think about it, that research question and research objective should be 2 sides of one mirror, meaning that when you write a research question, always you should think about research objective. And when you write your research objective, you always should think about your research question. Many times happens is that I want to tell you, I read the research question of the of a student. Okay, a student sent me their research question, and then they send me research objective, but these two parts not matched. Okay, so it is very important that you know that research objective and research question should be both sides of one mirror. Okay, they reflected to each other, they match to each other, alright? And this is a very key point that, for example, you cannot write 10 research questions and then just mention one research objective. Many times happens something like this. So if you think wisely about the research question, you should think wisely about research objective as well. Alright, this is very important. And now, when you know your topic, you find the problem statement of your research, you find your research question, you find your research objective. Now you can write your research proposal to organize your idea, to convince your audience, to contract with your client, to meet ethical requirements. Okay, most of the time we write the research proposal to convince the audience, meaning that our boss, our colleague, our supervisor, our tutor, our teacher, everyone that wants this research from us should be convinced by our research proposal. So research proposal is very important. And if you have a good research proposal, meaning that you have a good chapter 1, the rest can be done well too, okay? Content of your research proposal, I talked about it before. Its title, its background, its research question as an objective, and of course, problem statement. And the method can be in 2 parts: research design and data collection, and time scale and resources and references. Alright, in research proposal, also you should talk about these 3 items as well, about method, about time scale and resources. That time scale and resources, most of the time we can see this item in research proposal, and references, alright? And evaluating your research proposal, how the components of the proposal fit together, viability, and the absence of, okay, this is very clear. This is the sample of research proposal layout, alright? So I don't ask you, all of you, do exactly this slide and follow these items one by one, but the whole idea should be like this, and the whole arrangement of your research should be near to this. And I think it's same as whatever that I told you in 5 chapter, but here it's very narrow. So some of the part you can combine and then come to 5 chapter. This is just an example. So as a summary, the best research topic, formulate and clarify the topic. So first you should use your topic, you should clarify your topic, meet the requirement of examining body, use a variety of techniques when generating research idea, and focus on clear questions based on relevant literature. And the best research topics are theory dependent, meaning that your research topic depends on the theory, and have a proposal containing organized idea. Tell the reader what will be done and why, and how it will be achieved. So when someone see your topic, he should understand that your research, it will about what and why and how you want to achieve it. Okay. So today presentation finished. Let me check my chat box. I think we have one question. Okay, is research proposed part of our research? What do you mean, Mr. Milways? Of course, we have a research. You mean research proposal is part of our research. It's not part of, how can I tell you? Alright, when you write a research proposal, in your research proposal, you have your RQ, RO, and blah, 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 okay? So you can use the information from research proposal in chapter 1 of your research. But when you submit your final research, it doesn't mean that first you have research proposal. For example, in first 5 pages you write about research proposal and then you come to the chapter 1. No, it's not like this. The final research starts from chapter 1, okay? And research proposal is different material, but the information, they are same. Most of the information in chapter 1 used to write research proposal. Okay. All right. So if you have any other question, you can ask me now. Okay, Mr. Nurza, do you have any question? Okay, I asked you to think about your topic, all right? And you can email to me if you think that you have an idea about your topic, and I can help you. And I think by reviewing the first session and today's session slides, you can get some idea about how you can start to write your topic. And if you choose your topic soon, it means you have more time to do the literature review, and then you can start to read the related material to your topic, okay? So if you have any question about the slides or about how to choose the topic, you can ask me via email. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a very good weekend. If you don't have any question, we can finish our class now. Thank you. Thank you, and I will send today's slides via email, I think by tomorrow. Thank you very much. Have a nice night. Bye.